My name is Megan and I'm from Ontario, Canada. This is my 1985 GMC Fire Command van, hailing from Montreal. So I bought the van on Kijiji, similar to Craigslist, and I bought it from a fella who actually had it gifted to him by a man who got it in auction. They had like kind of the same intention of turning it into like a camper style thing, and I got really lucky. I found it for a really affordable price. It was $2,000. It's in really good condition because it was kept inside most of its life at the fire hall. It was used as basically a vehicle to help power the Jaws of Life. So it had a lot of generators in it and electrical panels and stuff like that, and I pulled it all out. This is my little home on wheels. I did the build completely myself. I had a lot of verbal guidance from my dad. I tried to keep it as like minimally budgeted as possible. I didn't actually intend to buy a step van, so when I got it, I had a lot more square footage to work with than I was expecting. I knew for sure there were certain things that I wanted, like I wanted my cat's kitty litter separate from my living space, so I did put a garage in the back for that purpose. Also, I wanted my daughter to be able to have like a space of her own that she could go to. So this is actually her bedroom, but there's no mattress or anything down there right now because she's been camping out at a tent with some other kids she's met on the road. I wanted this space to feel as open as possible. We like to have dance parties, so I wanted to be able to like, you know, move around and stuff with my daughter. She's 10 and we're full-time on the road, so that was really important to me to have lots of space to like walk about the cabin. Yeah, she really likes it. I've seen a huge confidence boost in her in the last several months, which has been really interesting. Well, when she was in school and stuff, she would have like, you know, really odd days. So some days she'd come home from school and she would be, you know, in a really sad mood or a really upset mood, angry. Like every day was totally different. It was kind of a roller coaster of emotions with her, picking her up from school. Or we'll sit on the wheel wells sometimes, just like side by side. Outside, we spend a lot of major holding tanks on the vehicle. I just have like a 4-jug system and it works really functionally. I have 15 gallons of fresh drinking water and I have a 5-gallon gray water tank, and it's worked really well. I can actually be off grid for about 7 days with Molly and I before I'm concerned about water. So that's been great. And we have our garbage in there. I made sure that I used all this space, so I have these baskets up screwed into the cupboard as well that are holding like my dishcloths and soap and all of that. The sink I love. They were both really affordable as well. This is from Amazon and this is from IKEA. I think the entire setup cost me about $75, and it's definitely functional. When we're driving, I usually take anything that's hanging and put it in the sink, so it's kind of multi-purpose as well. It's been great. I don't have a hot water. I have a pull-out cooktop, and this is all I use. It's super, it does the job. It's just a butane cooktop. I can only do 1-pan cooking, but I haven't really found that an issue at all. And I just stow it away when we're not using it, because countertop's like serious real estate, and being able to put my cooktop away is really nice. So this actually is kitchen storage. I have all of my kitchen stuff in here, plates and everything, spices, tea, this handy little tea organizer because I'm a big tea drinker. This cupboard here is actually my closet. It's very little. I had a lot of clothes, so downsizing clothes was like a thing that I struggled with, but I think I did a pretty good job. Oh, there we go. That's a van thing. So yeah, I have all my clothes in there, and it functions. I also have a couple storage bins in the garage that we just keep like warmer, heavier sweaters in and stuff for colder climates. Just have like random, like an electrical box, and then I have a box that holds all of my fire stuff. Our AGM battery. And I have a 500-watt inverter as well, and our needs are pretty minimal. Like we're just charging basically our cell phones, laptops, and I have a solar fridge, 12-volt fan. I've got a water pump for my kitchen sink, and then some USB ports basically to help charge the smaller electrical stuffs like fans and things like that. And I've not had any issues with it. It's been like, that amount has been perfect for us. Everyone's needs are so different, but I really I calculated out exactly what I thought I would need. And it was a good thing I did because it's been perfect. We've been on the road for 4 months now, and I haven't had any issues with it yet since leaving. I'm never really concerned. It's always at a really good charge. It's been really functional for us. You'll notice there's only one seat in this van. I have a seat belt actually back here behind all of these pillows because I have a pillow obsession. There's a seatbelt back there so that when I am driving, Molly has an option to buckle up if she needs to. And some states and some provinces have different laws, but she doesn't have to be buckled at all times. But if I'm on major highways, I usually have her buckle up. And next summer, I'm hoping to install a second seat for her up front. Other than that, it's probably my favorite nook in the van. I definitely like made a cozy little nook back here for us to sleep on. It gave us lots of space, which is good. It kept this very open. I have a garage in the back. I built a wall, and then the whole van actually I framed and strapped with 2x2, and then I did a 1.5 inch layer of spray foam insulation. And then these pallets actually I got secondhand. I think I got 20 pallets for $40, and I ripped them all apart. Molly actually sanded and painted them all. She helped me do all of them. She did a really good job, and she learned a lot too. And I was able to do the whole ceiling and the back wall for like $40. Real pallet, and because it's wood too, it stays super dry, which is great. It's really dry in here. I haven't had any moisture issues so far. Knock on wood, there's a lot in here. Yeah, so it's been really great. And the garage is awesome because I didn't realize how much stuff that I had that I wouldn't have wanted in my personal space until I started moving it all in. And so I'm really thankful that I have the garage. It's not a very big space. It's only about like 1.5 feet. But it definitely provides a really good storage area for us, which has been super helpful. So the curtains are handmade. Molly and my grandma actually made them together. Almost everything in the van I tried to either repurpose things or do myself, like or have Molly do. She's a really good sewer, so I don't know how to sew, but my daughter knows how to sew, which is super cool. So I'll make her do all the sewing. These are my fairy lights, and they run basically around the perimeter of the van. They're also dimmable, which is awesome because when Molly's asleep at night, if I want it to be like a little bit darker in here, she can sleep better. There's also a party setting, which is pretty great light. So this has been awesome because it's kept all the light out when we're dwelling in cities or anything like that. It's been really cool. I like it a lot. It's one of my most favorite parts of the van, actually. So I'll move this fluffy, squishy thing here. So this is the front cab. This is also another thing that I plan on doing a lot more work with when I go home next summer. I'm going to be completely gutting the dash and putting a live edge wood dash in. I'm hoping to actually use a product called Lizard Skin in here. They use it on hot rods in really hot countries and climates. And it's like a really thick skin. You put on about 5 millimeters thick, and it's basically like a insulator paint. It insulates spaces, and it's really helpful. I put it on the inside of my doghouse, and it doesn't get hot anymore. My doghouse used to get so hot that I couldn't even put my leg near it, and now it's just warm to the touch when I'm driving, which is great. Step vans are funny because they have their quirks. Doghouses are super exposed. The doors are really, really shaky when you're driving. They definitely weren't made to drive for comfort. You definitely have to toy with them and kind of make adjustments so that they're more comfortable. My doors rattled like crazy the first time I drove my van, so immediately I knew that I needed to fix that. So I actually put new sealant around the doors and around the doghouse as well. The floors in here, we didn't mention the floors. These are engineered hardwood, and I love it. It's great. It's a super dry product. I got it for a really good deal, and I think I got it for like $2 a square foot. Like I said, I tried to keep my budget as low as possible, and it was like off basically the end product from a company, from a job that they'd done. So that was really cool. This is the captain's chair. So basically this was a fire truck, and it was from Montreal, so all of the stuff on it is French. And these buttons here are all French. None of them are functional. So I'm going to be, like I said, taking this out. I'm going to use all of the original pieces in here, clean them up and stuff like that, things that I do need, and put it on the dash. I get about, surprisingly, I get about 12 to 15 miles to the gallon. which I had to do the math on because we don't do miles in Canada. And the reason that I think I'm getting such good mileage is because this is a 3-ton vehicle and I only have 1,000 pounds in it. So it's only 1 ton currently. I had it weighed when we came across the border and it was like 980 something pounds with Molly and I in it and a full supply of wood for our wood stove. So that definitely was pretty helpful, it seemed, in fuel economy, because I can get a pretty good distance on a full tank of gas. I still keep backup jerry cans in the back just in case, because I'm always so nervous I'm going to run out of gas on the road. It's a super comfortable ride. I actually this chair, I had it reupholstered. This is the original seat, and I actually had it reupholstered, and I love it. It's very bright and nice, so I can show you it's hiding. He did a really nice job on it. I wanted to repurpose it. The chair was in really rough shape. It was black, full of holes, so he put some new cushioning in it as well, which has been great because it's way more comfortable for me to drive now. I usually keep about making things out of everything. It's a guy. She was dancing with him the last BLM land we were at. So, does he have a name? I can't remember if she named him like Doug or something. I think it was Doug. So this is my garage. I'm very thankful for it. It does its thing. The cat door is here, so the cats come through there to use the litter box, which has been the best thing. And I basically just built these shelves back here. I had these wooden crates from my old apartment. Basically just put chains across so that they don't fly all over the place when we're driving. We have our hammocks in here for when we're places with trees. The desert's lacking in those, but I love the desert. It's so great. I'd never been to the desert until like 2 months ago, and it just moved me. I thought it was the coolest. So we have like our backpacking chairs that we keep back here as well. I have some leveling blocks so I can level the van out if I'm on uneven ground. And yeah, we keep our coats and stuff back here as well. Bike helmets. Our winter stuff is in those bins. I've got my tools so I can fix my own stuff. And a Christmas tree, because that's priority. You know, you can live tiny and still have a Christmas tree. It doesn't, it's a 3-foot tree, it's perfect. We had that going for Christmas on some land outside of Tucson, and it was a desert holiday. It was really cool. I keep my laundry stuff back here as well. This was a very good decision, this garage. And then around the outside of the van, this is actually a huge focal point for a lot of people when they see my vehicle. It does serve a purpose. The woodsman's name is Major. I didn't actually properly introduce you to Major. I named him Major after Major Tom from David Bowie's The Space Odyssey. That song is like very much about like letting go. It's like about a guy who just gets in a ship and takes off. So, and I'm a huge David Bowie fan. I always have been. But he slowly became Major, like went from Major Tom and then all of a sudden was Major because he was a major project and like consumed 4 months of my life. This was like the hardest thing I'd ever put myself through, and I'm proud of myself for doing it for sure. And he has quite the face, actually. I love the front end is very vintage. It's why I was really drawn to him when I found him online. I've always been into like really retro stuff and like things that look like they're from the 50s and 60s. And the second I saw his face online, I was like, that's my guy. Thanks for coming to check out my tiny home on wheels. If you guys want to follow our journey, you can find us at the Step Van Diary on Instagram. Happy to share the story.
Thanks for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you.